Shoot, man, chilling in the game room right now, kicking it. I got my kid in the living room watching
I'm in
TV.
my game room too, man. First and foremost, for everybody tuning to the live right now, salute to Angelo Dawkins, one half of the Street Profits on the Attitude Era podcast right now. You know what I mean? It's officially going down. My first question that I got for you, you know, being as I feel like when I was coming up watching wrestling during the Attitude Era, it was a lot of guys in tune with hip hop, but battle rap wasn't, you know, where it is right now. So how'd you, because that's what the podcast is about. It's the best of both worlds, wrestling and battle rap.
Right.
How deeply are you into the battle rap culture? How much do you know about it? Who's just some of your favorite battle rappers?
So okay. So basically what I started watching it, I want to say 2015, 2016. So like me, it was like right around the time Montez had started, Apollo Crews had started, a couple of our guys, Swerve when he was here, and then it was really cool, this boy Teasy. So they like kind of put me on it a little bit. And so one of the first battles that I saw was you versus Disaster in Toronto. So like I was like, oh snap. Like, and I knew about battle rap, obviously, like Freestyle Fridays on 106 and Park, Rap City in the basement and all that stuff. So like when everybody be freestyling there, but this is like the first time I had ever seen it. And I was just like, oh snap, oh dang, they going in. And for a minute it was just crazy. I'm like, yo, oh snap. Like, yo, these dudes is going in right now. 3 rounds. You got what, about like 2.5, 3 minutes to get your bars out, and you gotta hit them hard too. Like, and it's just like, man, like it's kind of like how y'all go about that is like kind of how we go about like our promos and stuff like that. So it was just like, man, like, yo, this is just like how we go out there and talk pretty much. And then the tag team battle rap and like that's on a different level, because I'm like, bro, like, yeah, it was just like, bro, like how these dudes bouncing these words off of each other like this, and it's just like you just keep watching and keep watching. You're just like, that I can't believe that they're like able to like, it's like reading each other's minds pretty much. And it's kind of, and it translates to us in tag team wrestling because we can read each other's minds out there. Like, we ain't even got to say nothing to each other. We just know.
For sure. So that was leading into my next question I got. Because in my mind, I feel like battle rap is like wrestling, because a lot of us battle rappers, we definitely watch wrestling growing up. So that's how we get into, you know, the promo, and then you got the people that the crowd loves and hates, you know, and y'all businesses faces and heels. What do you feel like is the biggest, like one of the biggest like comparisons with battle rap and wrestling, like how they go hand in hand, or just hip hop music in general?
Man, just like the cadence and like listening to the crowd, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Listening, because like y'all notice every time y'all say like a bar or whatever, and y'all giving everybody time to react. Like, oh, instead of rushing into it. With us, it's pretty much like, boom, we hit a move. We want to let the whole crowd, because we're in the full arena. So like, we want everybody in the rafters to even like notice what we've done and stuff like that. So that's where it's just like, boom, like we hit them with something. We just like let it lay, and then boom, we're like back to like moving again. It's just like rapid fire. Like it's just back and forth the whole time.
I definitely agree. Z, go ahead.
We actually interviewed Swerve, and we asked him that same question, and he had the same answer, like the kind of cadence and everything, reacting to the crowd, all that. I wanted to ask you, but I needed something. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now it's proper. Now we set up. Now we can ask. You know what I mean? Street Profits, one of the greatest tag teams today in WWE. First of all, WrestleMania coming up. Are we gonna see the Street Profits here?
I mean, you can't have Mania without the Street Profits, man. Come on now.
How did you guys kind of get paired up and get started? What's kind of the history of Street Profits?
So the history of Street Profits, they put us together, 2000, towards the end of 2016, 2017. And like we were still at NXT, obviously. So that was when we were still doing shows at Full Sail University for NXT TV. And me and Tez had a match, one after the other. He was wrestling at the time Steve Cutler, and I wrestled No Way Jose, and like we were both like right after one another, and it just like Triple H was like, well, let's see how these two work together. And it already helped out because we were already boys, so like we've already been cool. So like normally when you in a tag team, it's lovely when you're boys and stuff like that. You know, so sometimes in tag teams there's a little people not liking each other sometimes, but like we were cool. We pretty much did everything together almost, you know what I'm saying? So we just kicked it, and it just made it easier. It was just a thing of trying to fine tune like his style with my style. Like how do we get across? This dude will put on a 3-piece tux just to go to Chipotle, and I'm gonna freaking show up in house shoes and sweatpants to like a steakhouse.
Right.
Pretty much.
And I also wanted to ask that because you also have kind of, I would say, not everyday scene ring wear. You kind of wear basketball shorts. I heard a story about how that kind of happened. Did you forget your gear and that was just kind of anything that was laying around?
No, so I mean I didn't forget gear. It was like when I first started. So back in 2012 when I first started, I didn't have wrestling gear. I didn't wrestle in the indies. I came straight out of college. So I didn't know what I was really getting myself into per se. And that was, I don't know, like a month or two with being there too. So like obviously I didn't have any gear. So they were like, hey, we need you to do pictures or whatever. All I have is all I ever really rock is basketball shorts. So obviously I'm there with a bunch of the old heads. Like I've said it in interviews a bunch. Corey Graves was one of them. That was like wrestling at the time too. He was like roasting me and stuff like that. So it was like, bro, this kid ain't even gonna make it like a month, like 2 more months. Like he's gonna be gone. He don't know what he's getting himself into. Long story short, Street Profits formed. I'm in basketball shorts ever since.
That's crazy.
One of only 2 Triple Crown tag team champions.
My next question that I got for you is, I used to watch pay-per-views. My grandma used to buy them to me when I was a kid. I just seen this, and this just literally happened last night. What's your take on the King of the Ring coming back? And they added Queen to the ring too.
I'm down for it. It's always fun to have those tournaments and stuff like that, especially like they brought it back last year, and so Woods and Zelina Vega, they both were the king and queen. So like shout out to them first and foremost. But yeah, like it's just fun to like be able to do those tournaments because we know like back in the day, like back in the 90s and stuff, like King of the Ring meant you win King of the Ring, you got a world title opportunity and stuff like that. And that's King of the Ring holds a very special place in a lot of people's hearts because that's where Stone Cold dropped that promo. You know what I'm saying? Austin 316 said, "I just whooped your ass." Yeah, like it's like it just has like a prestigious history that it's cool that they're bringing it back and we get to kind of like add to that legacy of King and Queen of the Ring.
My next question that I got, you debuted in a loss to Sami Zayn, and I wanted to ask you, like, now just seeing from that time period when he came into the WWE to right now where he's at, like, what do you think about that, and even surrounding Mania? Because I think I kind of, us watching it, better than us, you can't leak it, but we kind of know what direction it's headed to. But you know what I mean? A lot of people at the same time still want him to be in that main event situation with Reigns and with Cody.
So me and Sammy have a very interesting story. He's the very first person that I met in pro wrestling because we tried out together. We had the same tryout together. So we were in the same we had the same rental car. So we were waiting, like we get to the airport and like I end up meeting him and we're waiting on somebody else that's rolling with us as well. So like we just had like time to kick, like we had like an hour and a half to chill at the airport while we're waiting on this person. And so he was like, "Hey, I'm Sammy." I'm like, "Yo, what up?" "Yeah, Angelo." "Nice to meet you." And like it was just, and like to be fair, like at that point in time, like I said, I was fresh out of college. Like I did not know what I was getting myself into. And Sami was one of the first dudes that I met. Oh, actually, the first dude that I ever met involved in pro wrestling. And I remember he was watching CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan at the airport. So like I was just watching with him. He was kind of like explaining things to me that was just way over my head. I couldn't even understand it at that point in time. But like now, like we tried out together and got hired, part of that same 2012 class. And just to see where he's at and like to see how hard he's worked. The dude's busted his butt for freaking ever. Like I ain't trying to call him old or nothing, but like dude was traveling around the world while I was still in like middle school. You know, like I was focused on second period, studying for tests and stuff. My man was over in Japan, the UK, over there wrestling and like just finding himself and stuff like that. And just to see like just to be kind of a part of it in a way, and to see how far he's come, especially from the time that I wrestled him that one time to now, is just cool to see. And yeah, man, like I ain't even gonna hold you, like I kind of want to see him in that main event as well. But you know what I'm saying, the way things are teetering, you know, it's pretty much it, right. But it's just like that dude's busting his butt, man. He's deserved it. He's scratched and clawed through and through, and I got love for him.
But while we're on Mania, real quick, can I ask quick predictions for some of the matches? We got Cody and Roman. Do you think it's gonna happen? You think he's gonna dethrone Roman?
No, I'm still pissed at Cody right now because he's a Georgia Bulldogs fan and I'm an Ohio State fan. We don't need to really go over how that game ended. Yeah, and then not only that, his wife is a freaking Michigan fan, so like they beat Ohio State this past year. And so yeah, it was, you know what I'm saying, like I want him to win, but at the same time I kind of don't want him to win because he's got 3 and I got 0. So like he was like, man, that's crazy, bro. Ohio State lost to Michigan, Georgia, and on the Undisputed World. Woo! Dang, that's crazy. I'm like, come on, Cody, man. Why you got to do that? But now, like, I got, man, honestly, I think Cody does it. I think Cody does
it. Crazy.
Cody,
that'd be crazy, man. Right now, I think it's over like 100 days for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's, man.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, there's another match. We do even have to ask your prediction. We got the Women's Championship, Asuka versus Bianca Belair.
I got Bianca.
I think that might be one of the matches of the night.
And I think look, Asuka, she a beast, and Bianca ain't no joke as well. Like she's the EST for a reason. But like both of those two have been at the top of the game, at the top of the women's division for a very, very long time, and both of them are really athletic. So it's gonna be a really good spectacle.
Yeah.
Last
night we got another one that got announced. What's your take on John Cena and Austin Theory for the United States title? Yeah.
Man, you know what? I think Austin Theory needs to be humbled a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think Cena might get his belt out and start whooping him. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely want John Cena to take that for sure.
Well, that's
gonna be crazy too.
Like getting beaten up by your childhood hero. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look.
Yeah.
I hope Austin ready, man. Once that bell ring, I think we saw it last night. Ain't no childhood idol right now, bro. He trying to come for your head. You gonna have to wake up a little bit, my brother.
Speaking of last night, we were on the subject of Sami Zayn real quick. Did you see what transpired last night to close out Raw? He got turned on by Jey Uso.
Yeah, I knew it. It was just a matter of time. I was just looking like this is not gonna end in Sami's favor.
You really think he was gonna choose Sami over his blood, his twin? Nah. And like, people gotta understand, like, we wrestled the Usos a lot. All right, them dudes ain't turning on each other, and I seen them fight over bologna sandwiches before. All right, and they still be cool afterwards.
Speaking of people the Street Profits have seen in the ring, do you guys have kind of like a dream tag team match, and do you have a dream like individual singles match?
Dream tag team match, definitely us versus the Usos versus the New Day, reincarnation of the TLC.
Crazy. And what about Solo?
Definitely that.
And what about Solo?
What'd you say? Solo? Man. Honestly, for me, I would not mind going up against Gunther
crazy
for IC title. I want another crack at Priest, obviously. I just want to go up against all the big dudes pretty much, because we're all hybrids now. Like, it's a completely different ball game.
It being this being the Attitude Era podcast, I don't know when you started watching wrestling, but what's some of your who's some of your wrestling influences?
Booker T, Rikishi, Too Cool, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, The Rock, obviously, Billy Gunn, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, big Undertaker fan, big Kane fan, and just
that list right there, that's my childhood. So that list right there, that list right there.
I grew up pretty much watching all of them, and it was just like, man, it was just so good. Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, 2000.
Attitude.
He was an Attitude Era, yeah. 2009, Randy was off the chain, but Randy's definitely like one of the dudes I watched a lot. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler. You know, we got a long-standing history of being Ohio boys, amateur wrestlers.
That's an awesome list. Do you have a favorite match or moment
that I've been a part of?
Well, let's do both. First, that you've watched and that you've been a part of.
My favorite moment that I've watched, I always say this: Stone Cold Steve Austin, Booker T throwing down in a grocery store. That's my first and foremost. That whole ordeal, and then moment. All right, buddy. My kid just came over, but my favorite moment, us Usos, Money in the Bank.
Awesome. Money in the Bank too. You're part of these matches where I feel like, because you're a bigger guy, you do these athletic things that people don't expect. That one of your moves that I really like is the NBA Slam, where you kind of jump, spin in the air, and then slam. How did you kind of come up with that? How was that created for you in the ring?
So, man, I just ended up doing it. I saw Two Cold Scorpio do it one time, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do this. And so I ended up doing that. And now, I kind of added an inverted Enzy right after now. And so, now I just do that with the Enzy right after. Shout out to
my guy Samoa Joe for sure. He tuned into the battle rap culture too. At some point, man, whenever y'all free or vice versa, we gotta collab with the Street Profits and battle rap.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm down. I'm definitely down.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask one more thing. Speaking of the Street Profits, sometimes this attitude that I like to ask behind the scenes stuff that sometimes gives us a peek behind the curtain. Street Profits, obviously one of the most iconic teams. WWE does this thing sometimes where the teams break up. Was there ever any plans maybe to have someone turn on someone or something happen that make the crowd go crazy?
Nah, never.
Street Profits.
Never. We brothers to the end, bro. We always go support each other no matter what, man. We always got each other's back.
Yeah, that's
we ain't
right.
never turning.
Yeah, we don't want to keep you too much longer. Good looking for pulling up, man. Definitely great conversation.
Oh man,
Shout out to
thanks for
Angelo
having
Dawkins. I mean, and we definitely tapped in to see what's going to unfold for Wrestlemania for sure.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha. Good looking,
sure, man. Yo, thanks for having me, man.
Sure.
Take it easy. Peace.